Hello everyone and welcome back to the Spearhead cast. With me, Matt. We are here now on Langerskaya. We're gonna be doing a 1v1 on the Eastern Front. Let's go through the players. Representing the Waffen-SS today, we have Blockmaster as the Waffen-SS without a commander choice. Representing the Soviet Union, we have Lobo, who is not moving yet, which is a troubling sight. Hopefully they're just having issues loading in, that sometimes happens. Because Lobo needs to get moving. That's gonna be a problem if Lobo doesn't start moving soon. Then we'll have Blockmaster starting moving out with their troops first of all, and securing some territory. Come on, Lobo, get moving. Don't let this be like a wasted thing. I definitely feel Lobo's having problems loading in at this point. There we go. Lobo is now finally moving their sappers. They're going for several conscripts early on to start with. That's the Soviets that can at least make a comeback quickly, simply because Soviet Union get a lot of resources to work with. Ah, okay, that's very bad timing. Hopefully they didn't lose too much from that. That's gonna make this a little bit more of an intriguing start, that the Soviets are a little bit on the back foot. At least they're still getting all the manpower accumulated. So they're not losing in the resource department anyway. Blockmaster's even calling for a restart, very nice of them. Ah, looks like Lobo is in the mood to continue going. That's good to see. But good from Blockmaster calling for like a potential restart or asking for it after realizing the enemy was out taking a wish, so to speak. We also have a command choice here from Blockmaster. Looks like it's gonna be SS Propaganda. So the Totenkopf, the 3rd SS, Death's Head. Pretty mean motherfuckers recruited from the concentration camp guards. Pretty fucking hardcore Nazis. So a little bit cautious about those guys. Very dangerous. We're also gonna get some Volkssturm on the field here. Basically some militia used by the Germans at the end of the war. The Volkssturm was kind of like a last-ditch attempt to defend Germany with a bunch of manpower influx from basically people who were not seen normally as fit for service in the German army. Just to provide some numbers. Generally very poor quality, but they are a very cheap unit, and they're actually one of the few ways for the Waffen-SS to get cheap infantry. We have the Sumrendier sitting here behind some sandbags to set up. Lots of Soviets about to swarm them. Sappers also, yeah, they overrun the German position, very good to see. Lobo knows what to do. If you see a single German unit, you just have to overrun it from several angles. That's a good way for the Soviets to do it early game. Doomhani is moving down here, they need to be cautious. They're probably waiting for enough munitions for a great assault. So they are deciding against it for now. And the Soviets have secured the southern flank pretty handily. You have a Maxim coming onto the field here for the Soviet Union. No commander choices yet for the Soviets. MG08 actually coming onto the field here for the propaganda tactics. A very cheap machine gun you get if you're playing as propaganda. Basically, it's the old German machine gun of the First World War, now being utilized again. Probably quite similar to the Maxim, technically. Just it's not on wheels, it's on a tripod. Basically, it's using the old water-cooled thing that a lot of machine guns used in, like, early turn of the century back then. A lot of factions still used water-cooled machine guns. Like the Maxim is a water-cooled machine gun as an example. Putting up down here, although we cannot get a good view on it there. There we go. You can see it there. Like a little kind of kettle barrel. MG08 rushing up here to some sandbags. Coming under some fire though, but once the machine gun gets up, that could be dangerous for the Soviets. That was my throw grenade on it. Yep, small frag grenade going out here at the RG42. Ooh, that actually did a lot of damage, and the Molotov as well to finish them off. And the Molotov could actually damage the MG08 to be completely destroyed. Sappers do die, but the Soviets gonna reserve Sap already. Looks like the MG08 might survive the Molotov. It does, okay. So now we know that an MG08 can survive a Molotov. Barely, though. The constant still streaming in from the other flanks. We also have Frontaliki squads. Some actually trained and competent Soviet infantrymen. Generally should not be underestimated. But Soviets are using some losing twists in the retreats. Storm Grenadiers are pretty accurate. Probably the strongest basic infantry you can get. But Maxim is now ripping into them. And they've been suppressed. Sturmheim is trying to get on the flank here. But Frontaliki are very hard to get up on. A good job from Lobo. Lobo's already done a pretty good job here. So they're going to try and steal the MG08. Yep. That's an MG08 now in Russian hands. Probably use the same bullets at the maximum, I'd imagine. Because I think many of these old World War I machine guns are basically the same design. Basically based on the Maxim design, I am pretty sure. But I'm not really an expert on old machine guns from the First World War, I'm afraid. They just all look the same and seem to operate the same. There's some long-range shots here in on the Sturm Grenadiers, but they are getting some good long-range rifle shots. Problem is, this is not a very healthy team, so they might get killed with a few shots hit. And that was one model down. I think. Oh, we got a merge with some conscripts. Oh, that's really good play from Lobo. Very good to see. Another MG8 has arrived though, but it's more fine. That's a really good play though from Lobo. Oh, and I got a message on my phone now. Very bad timing for on my part, apparently. Sorry about that. I'm apparently very popular today for some reason. That's my mother, apparently. Although that's nothing you should worry about. Let me just respond to her quick. I am sorry. There we go. Sorry about that. Just had to respond to her. Okay, let's focus back on the battle here. MG4 just being equipped here on the Sturm Grenadiers. That's going to improve the fire. Oh yeah, you see they rip into those conscripts quickly. Molotov does go out on those that MG08 though. And that's my Monoman just respawning. I'll look at it later. Anyway, we have the Germans moving around here, trying to push the Soviets back. Volkssturm and Sturm Pioneers pushing up here together. Ooh, that's green away. Tappers will be able to get back there though. T-70 coming onto the field. Do we have a command choice? Nope. Looks like the Soviets are waiting a little bit. DPM handed out to the Frontoviki here to hold that building. That's actually a pretty good choice. DPM is surprisingly good. Mortar coming out for the Soviets. Looks like Lobo is getting a lot of diverse units, which is good to see, so they can do a lot of various things. But the Sappers have to pull back again. Only one conscript remains. Here's the T-70. Germans don't have any AT equipment ready, but Volkssturm does arrive with Panzerfausts. If the T-70 gets too close, it will die. Sturmgrenadiers can also be upgraded with Panzerfaust as needed. Where's the Soviets? They didn't actually get the MG08 back, so it looks like the Germans got that handled. Although it looks like they got destroyed somewhere. The 70 now present, missed with a high explosive shell. But the MG08s cannot do anything to this thing. There's a tank after all, so it will provide a cover fire while the mortar takes aim. But the main gun of the T-70 is not designed for dealing with infantry. Not like in the vanilla game, where it's actually really good at killing infantry, by the way. The machine gun, the turret is still pretty decent, but you have to get in a good angle. Let's see, we have no other weapons here coming out from the Waffen-SS at the moment. Another high explosive loaded. Misses. Volkssturm moving closer. Do remember, Volkssturm do a Panzerfaust, so the T-70 needs to be cautious. But the DPM inside the turret is doing a good job already. Killed one guy. Looks like they had to reload it. Remember, there's only 2 people inside the T-70, I'm pretty sure, so not a lot of room. Might even be 3 people, but I'm not sure how many is actually inside this thing, but it looks like it's very tiny. It's a tiny, tiny tank. Let's see. Oh, MG08 team is actually in trouble. Only 1 guy left. He's trying to pull back. He succeeds. Lanskers on the flank here, being shot by the Sturm Pioneers. Sturm Pioneers definitely win that fight over long range. T-70 pushing up here again, being a nuisance. Pack is going to be arriving for the Waffen-SS though, which will be able to deal with the T-70 effectively. Doing a high explosive shell here. Misses. T-70 is not very accurate. Max him up there. So the Soviets have secured a lot of territory. DPM on the flank here suppressing the Foxstorm. Looking good there though. Soviets are pushing up, however. Oh, we have some Foxstorm Panzerjägers called in here. They can actually sneak, but they've already been spotted, so I don't think that's going to be working right now. Pack 40 is moving up to the battlefield though. SS Foxstorm Panzerjägers have to pull back. I suppose it's not SS Panzerjägers, it's Foxstorm Panzerjägers. Oh, MG right here on the flank. Base defense to push up the Soviets. Pack is going to try and take shots here on the T-70. They just need sight on it. T-70 backs off. Ooh, what's it? That's the MD-42 here on the Storm Grenade, I guess. Already get some good shots in there. You have to reload the MD-42, you can actually see him putting a new barrel in. Oh! Well, not a barrel, like a drum magazine. D-3476 being called onto the field early. Good to see. That's going to give a lot more pressure for the Germans to deal with. So it's going to apply a lot of pressure when played well. And Lobo is definitely doing a good job here. And Mortar still also doing a lot of damage. I'm going to just have to pull back. That's a grenade going out. Doesn't do too much there. Backs himself inside the building, but the Germans are preparing to storm it. The grenade going out from one of the Storm Grenadier. So we start batting the building. Building collapses. Storm Grenadiers on the flank here with the MG-42. Already getting some good shots in. Never underestimate an LMG-42. It's a pretty potent weapon when the squad is stationary. Oh, T-70 taken out by the Pack 40. Very nicely done there. But T-3476 is on the battlefields. Syscon coming out as well. I still know command just picked from Lobo, but Lobo just keeps the bombardments going. He's gonna try and apply as much damage as possible to the Germans. Got a Pack 40 coming out. Looks like the Germans are afraid of any potential armor push from the Soviets. Panzerjägers now sneaking around. They do have Panzerfaust assaults, by the way, so they can deal with a tank pretty effectively. Also have the Panzerknacker and Brandflasche. Oh, we have tank riders, and we also have a commander choice here. It looks like it is Shock. Ooh, will the Panzerjägers do an attack here? Yep, they're doing a Panzerfaust assault. Now they need to get out of there. Very good play there from Blockmaster. And yeah, Lobo even says nice. These players have good respect for one another, that's good. Foxstorm holding the flank down here. Sappers are getting inside the buildings. They can retire happy. Now the T-3476 coming onto the field, but Lobo is now Shock. And Shock is a very potent Soviet commander, by the way. Shock can do a little bit of everything. Suicide for the second time since they're probably like 70 already. Yeah, that's probably about right. Because they're Foxstorm. Either Foxstorm are very young or very old. That's really the thing to note about them. Sap's inside the building there. And Sap's being suppressed here by the Storm Grenadier. And the Storm Grenadiers will do a very good job here. Probably they only have 50 rounds in those LMGs. So they use the ammunition quite quickly and have to reload frequently. That's why I think the commanders who gets like the 100 round one is pretty damn potent. Storm Grenadiers are scavenging the wreck here, good to see. Both players are using their faction abilities. Getting some fuel there. 35 fuel, no less. That's a pretty good haul. But that's now double DPM there on the T-34. And those Storm Grenadiers have to get out of there. Panzerjägers already again. If they can get to veterancy 3, or is it 4? 3. They can get a Panzerstrike, actually. I can actually make them quite potent. So we just need to keep infantry close to the T-34. But very good usage of the Foxstorm Panzerjägers. People generally don't expect like a stealthed AT's team that can just stealth around. And they get that Panzer Strike, they're gonna be a lot more potent at hunting down tanks. If they can get some efficiency free. And we're also gonna see the first shock unit now. A heavy mortar. This thing is absolutely terrifying, especially in a 1v1. Because it can tear apart a German defense if they can just be allowed to keep firing. I think these Panzerjägers might want to get out of there, they're gonna get spotted soon. Yeah, so it's coming their way, they have to get out of there. Oh, and they get spotted. They have to run. Here comes the German. Oh! I think he was trying to attempt another Panzerfaust assault, but the Franzaviki moved to intercept and Sap exchange fire. Looks like the Panzerjägers will get out of there though, and more Volksturm take up their spots. Well, the Germans are holding the front line for now as the Soviets keep trying to push. They have a German mortar countering the best it can. Just applying some more pressure. But heavy mortars now present. And we have the normal Soviet mortar and counter barrage. I think when we see the heavy mortar shells start landing, that's going to be a lot of damage. Oh, one almost got killed. The explosion doesn't seem that big anymore. It should be 120 millimeters. Oh, that's one of the shells. It's just very inaccurate. My bad. The shells are just so inaccurate, they just land everywhere. Like, that's a proper 120 millimeter explosion. That's how they're supposed to be. We also have a recon team coming out now so they can deal with those pesky stealth SS units. Well, Volksturm units at this point. Yeah, already suppressing the Panzerjägers back there. As long as that heavy mortar keeps firing, the Germans are not safe. Domgren is still around. We have another tech-up truck coming out here for the Waffen-SS. Panzerjägers have to pull back. And more Franzaviki pushing up with Stabber support. High explosive here from the T-34 almost killed the pack. Ooh, pack misses. And now the Soviet infantry shows up, killing the crew. Domgren just gets some shots in with the MG42, but they have to reload. Putting another drum in. Sturmhand is supporting, but they're not behind the cover. EPM is already getting some shots in. Or Sturm can just run into the front line. Even have a third one on the fields. Looks to be using a lot of the Totenkopf on the battlefield here today. Propaganda artillery going overhead. And Franzaviki trying to push up. All the Volksturm are being suppressed by the propaganda artillery. Probably thinking it's real artillery. Tractor almost gone there. They can still survive a few more shots. Yeah, well, the heavy mortar still shells the German positions. Yeah, well, the German mortars are counter-barraging the best it can. Might not be the best spot for it, but it'll do its best. We also have an SS Aufklar on the field, actually. I didn't miss that. Soviet recon team is standing around. Just enjoying the sights of Germany, I suppose. And at the ruined house there. Probably thinking if they could loot something from it after the battle. But they have got their orders now to crawl forwards. Volksturm are moving to grab that pack. Guess they've been instructed how to use it. And the counter barrages keep going. They want to deal with a heavy mortar. German mortar is more accurate, by the way. Oh! They are definitely trying to take out that German mortar now. Lots of shells going its way. Both CIS guns and the normal Soviet mortar. Heavy mortars are shelling in. Oh, and that's the mortar team dead. Even the mortar's destroyed. Those Panzerjägers not gonna get close. This recon team is nearby. Be able to spot them just by getting into a radius. They don't even need side range actually. They just have a radius around them. That got some good shots though in the T-34. Was being manned by some Volksturm. Just Volksturm are now manning up the front line. All of the SS moving to the front line. And the MG08 still holding up the center. Volksturm are being used to merge because that's actually a thing you can do with them. You can actually merge. Oh, scout car down. SS Aufklar. Oh! Soviet recon team got spotted by the Aufklar and killed quickly. I don't think the Soviets were prepared for it. So the Panzerjägers got spotted. And now they're pinned down. But the tank is down thanks to the pack. More merging. Good usage of the Volkssturm. Just run them back, reinforce, and then move out to merge. Untersturmführer arriving here for the Waffen-SS, a low-level officer. Provide some light basic support. They were spreading out to recapture their fuel point. A good usage of the Volkssturm being essentially a reinforced team. Because it's very cheap to reinforce Volkssturm with only 9 manpower per model. Do note, any models that become Volkssturm do not get the accuracy or, I believe, the defense bonuses that higher veteran models do. So essentially they will not be harder to hit when they're in cover. They'll be easier to hit, and I also think that that's accurate. But it is a cheap way to reinforce squads, because they do get the same weapons and such. Ooh, that's Syscon firing. Flies just overhead. Those Sturmgrenadiers are probably sweating at the moment. They quickly move. Good timing as well. The cover is gone. They get the point. They're moving behind some bushes instead. Doing their best with the MG42. Because we have no other weapon upgrades on them. Oh, Syscon took out 2 people there. Only 1 people and a guy with a rifle killed another. Those 2 guys have to get out of there. They're taking too many shots. MG8 rushing up though. Aufklar also falling back with his MP34. Stabs trying to get close to the MG08. They're gonna get close to for a grenade. Oh, that's probably a dead team. Oh, no, only killed 2 of them. Storm Grenadiers are getting overrun here. There's too many Soviets. The veterans here and skill doesn't matter if there's just too many shots on them. Ooh, not looking good here for the Waffen-SS suddenly. Volkssturm is trying to get behind covers again and get some good sights on. Good usage of the Volkssturm overall. Good plays from both sides. Even more propaganda artillery. And with that, the Soviets charge. Very good, because it suppresses them, so they lose accuracy. But they quickly get up and going again. Black half track is up, so that's going to allow them to get panzers now. But the Soviets are definitely not having the easiest of times either. Both sides using propaganda to be on one another. The recon team has to pull back, so Germans are trying to secure the southern point. We have a Maximus at the farmhouse though. We need assault going out here from the Storm Pioneers. Maxim did not focus the right target. Oh, that building is down, and that's a dead Maxim. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be dead. Yep, it's down. Now the Soviets have to worry about another flank. Good play from the Germans. Incendiary shield from a mortar didn't hit. Actually, it does burn. It is actually burning them there. Burn up one guy. Aufklar's running ahead here with his MP34 and a Kar-98. Need to be cautious with their movements. I believe the MP38 uses the Sten gun model because there's no other submachine gun in the game with that sticks out with a magazine on the side. But an MP34 is a very intriguing design. Basically, it looks like a lot like the MP18, just with a stick magazine, I believe. Oh, Aufklar down! Man's actually hit something. Big Soviet push here with the front of weekend sappers. Don't think the Germans want to stay around for that. There's a lot of DPM fire coming their way. Ooh, and I get suppressed. Ooh, there's a minefield down here though. Very nice play. Quickly laid mines to cover their retreats. But those Storm Pioneers might not make it out of there. Looks like one guy will. How lucky. Water half track coming onto the field now. KV2. Okay. Early KV2. About 25 minutes in. And we're about to see a KV2. That is scary, to say the least. I don't think that... It was not a motor half track, it's just a normal half track. Okay. We also have an MG42 here now, heavy machine gun for the Germans. Basically the same machine gun as the LMG42, just it has a box magazine and a tripod. So that's mobile, but it can keep the firepower going for much longer. And it's generally more accurate. But it is basically, it's the exact same gun, in case you're wondering. Ooh, Heavy Mortar gets a good shot, then the Storm Grenadiers. That's gonna force them back for a while. And if the conscripts can aim, they might even kill them. But of course, conscripts cannot aim over long distances, as you can see. Still a KV2 this early, that is... I don't think Blarkmaster is prepared for it. I am pretty sure Blarkmaster is not prepared for KV2. Who would be at this point? In a 1v1. The KV2 has a 152mm gun. Yeah, 152mm gun. It's pretty damn nuts dealing with infantry, but it actually doesn't have that high armor as you'd think. Like, the armor may be thick for early war, but at this point in the war, it's actually not that impressive. MD42 ripping into the Cis and conscripts. And we have also some Foxten pushing up. Some still Handgranate. Of course, the Soviets relocate a bit. But here's the KV2. See how much armor? Only 900 armor. That's not that high for a heavy tank. Especially not at this point in the war. It's still pretty decent. But the Pak-40s could make some short work of it if they can get good shots in. But that 152mm gun, that is gonna be the wake-up call for Blarkmaster, I think. Unless the Paks get really lucky. So it's time to fortify down here. But the KV2 is now being to the front line. That's gonna be a dead MD42. Once this breaks through this foliage, or it's gonna attack ground. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. But the MD42 somehow survived. That's probably one very, very lucky guy. Probably the body of his body shielded him from the blast as it was turned into mist. Oh, we have the PPS-43 on the conscripts. The unique weapon available to shock division if you're playing as the Soviets for the conscripts. Surprisingly good, actually. Basically just a smaller PPSH that's a lot easier to produce. So it's surprisingly good from my understand. Just a lot of people don't use it for some reason. People just prefer the PPSH because of the iconic look, but I think the PPS-43 was apparently still very popular. And used a lot by the Soviets. Oh, we have all the officers called in at once by Lobo? Okay. Entire officer cadre just arrives at the front line. Lieutenant, Capitan, and the Major. The Major, I mean. So all of the officers of the shock of the current division just arriving here. Ready to oversee the front line for the Soviet Union. And the heavy mortar still shells the German positions. That's providing a lot of buffs if they stay near each other. I suppose the Major will want to set up like a retreat point here and operate from here. Heavy mortar keeps shielding the Germans. Dushka bunker has been set up, but if it gets a bit more hits in on itself, it will use its gunner. Oh my god, we have a 152mm howitzer being set up as well. Lobo is going for all the heavy guns right now, but can Lobo keep this up munitions-wise? The shock is very munitions heavy. If you don't have the munitions to keep it going, it's not going to work. Some kind of brawling out with the Dushka emplacement. Tiger Ace. That will actually be able to deal with the KV2. We need Colin available to Waffen SS propaganda. Basically, a Tiger Ace, as the name implies. It's an Ace crew in a Tiger tank. Gonna kill the Dushka position. Good job from all the MG42s. Now the DPM might be trouble. That's a Veteran C5 on Saviki, by the way. That's actually a squad you should be very cautious about fighting. They are gonna be really good. That's actually actual artillery. Pulled in by the lieutenant. Tiger is preparing to make a move somewhere. Maybe 2 shots in the center, kill something. Not sure what. It feels like it killed something. Ooh, KB2 is trailing its shot in the direction of the Tiger Ace. KB2 is reloading. He has a very long reload time. Overshot, but they hit the infantry behind. Explosive incendiary reloaded. Overshot, but destroys the cover. Looks like the Tiger thing might have to pull back from that. Just be cautious. Needs to be very careful. Oh, Volksturm, that SEGA killed. Let's see, the Soviets are still moving around here. Lieutenant is moving behind the shed for now. Waterstorm Fuel calling artillery. KB2 still shelling around the center area for some reason. Bunker down. And then artillery calling by the Waterstorm Fuel. Yeah, it's just still fighting in the region. In the area. Did kill the team of that Pack 40 though. Oh, I'm getting the sniffles. My allergies are really playing up. That's a horrible thing about having hay fever in the summer. You really notice the fact that you just start sneezing and sniffling everywhere, and you suddenly don't do that when it's winter. It's just so awkward. Udosumfia trying to fight with the Soviets here, but that's not a fight he wants, because that is a veteran to 5 Frontoviki. Probably some properly experienced soldiers of the Soviet Union. Yeah, Udosumfia has to get out. He might not even get out of there. Yeah, he doesn't make it. KB2 is just taking pot shots through the foliage here. Attack grounding wherever they think the Germans are. Oh yeah, that's another dead squad. 2G coming out here for the propaganda tactics. Probably using its periscope out the top there to see over the foliage would be probably the historical reason as to why they're able to do that. We do have a recon team coming out now, though. Nothing down, but there's a flare overhead, so I think the Germans managed to see them. That is an overshot if I saw any. Soviet howitzers not been fired yet. Probably still waiting for a proper target. Oh, they've been spotted though by the Aufklar. Volksturm is trying to push up. Tiger is also nearby. But the conscripts have the PPS 43, which is doing a good job on the Volksturm. It's also veteran C4 conscript, by the way. Ow! Looks like the KB2 did some friendly fire there, although I don't think it doesn't actually show its kills. It's a bug. Oh, good shot there from the Tiger. He's almost killing the KB2. One more shot should do it, and there we go. KB2 down. KB2's armor is not a match for the 88mm. Now this Tiger Ace only really has a few threats, being the Sys guns and that howitzer, which immediately trails in on it. It is very big howitzer shots, same millimeter as the KB2 actually. This misses. It's definitely going to deny this area for a while. But Germans have lost a fair few units. Let's say the KB2 definitely proved it can do something. But the Tiger is just completely nullified it. Tiger's moving up. The Sys gun could get a good shot here. It's decided to pull back instead. High explosive incendiary loaded. Oh, hits the shed and kills everything inside and sets it alight. Sys gun moving up, but MG42 can move into them. Ooh, that's not good for that AT team. Because they're being cut to pieces at the moment. MG42 had to reload though. Power gone. The Germans have to be located, I think. First also pushing around, but there's still an MG up here holding. And I don't care if it's a veteran C4 conscript. If they are conscripts, they're still gonna get suppressed fast. EPM trying to open fire here on the Germans. Also, the Sturmgrenadiers are winning out thanks to their heavy cover here. Tiger Ace is almost repaired. Syscons are taking shots in though. Second KV2! I'm not sure that's the wisest play, but I suppose if Lobo has a plan with them, I'm not gonna be the one to judge, because Lobo's the one playing, not me. For all I know, their plan might actually be very good. Let's see, Syscons do get some good shots in, but have to relocate. The shock units are being called in finally, some actual shock troopers, elite infantry available to shock division. Probably the most expensive basic infantry. I wouldn't call them basic, but probably one of the most expensive infantry you can get is the Soviets. 400 manpower. But generally they're worth it because shock troopers are really fucking good. Also, that's a Gauleiter. That's like a regional governor of the Nazi party with a Foxton retinue, moving around with his Luger. Not what I would expect to see at the front line like that, but I suppose if that's what Blagmaster wants to use him for. He does buff Foxton a fair amount, actually. Gonna take the point, but then he has to pull back. I imagine once he gets his officer abilities, people are gonna actually keep him alive. Yeah, not just waste him like that. Generally, you shouldn't just waste your officers like that, but at the moment, the highest ranking officers don't really do much. Unless you're in the United States, they actually have their abilities at the moment if you are the United States. Just wait until the officer rework gets to the factions. Shock troopers got suppressed though by the MG42. They can break suppression, by the way. Like they did right there. I also think it means they cannot be suppressed for 20 seconds. But they have to pull back after that. Stuk G in the front line. Looks like they're hunting down the howitzer. Tiger is pushing on the southern flank. Hack push loaded. Oh, good shot! Now, there's very little to stop the Germans from advancing here. Syscon did penetrate the Tiger though. The Storm Pioneers are pushing over the MP40s. Oh, they're about to get MP40s anyway. There they go. That's artillery great assault going out on this Syscon. Oh, very good right there, very good. Just moving straight for the fuel. AP2 on the field. Conscripts are doing their best with their PPS 43s, but have to fall back. Sturmgrenadiers in the center. Push them off with their Volkssturmgewehrs and the MG42. Now, the Volkssturmgewehr is basically a cheaper version of the Sturmgewehr. I believe it's practically the same stat-wise in the Spearhead, but I'm not sure. They basically serve as an assault rifle. Also has the same model as the Sturmgewehr because obviously the Volkssturmgewehr model does not exist in the game. G present here, just firing in. Howitzer firing close range and takes it out in a single shot. I suppose that's a good usage of the 152mm. But honestly, when this Tiger Ace just keeps being leveled up, I think the Surge are gonna have trouble dealing with it. Unless they can get some good 85 shots in. But they don't have an 85 at the moment. Jock was on the warpath. But they don't have any munitions to arm themselves with full automatic weaponry or something else. Being suppressed by the MG42s. Smoke grenade going out. I think that's a smoke grenade. But that's a satchel charge. Okay, I think that might be a misclick. Happens to all of us, even to me. Because I am not near a perfect person at all. These people are far more perfect than I would ever be. These people are playing wonderfully. Oh, Stormtroopers on the field. Being armed entirely with Sturmgewehrs. Looks like they've used the Kampfkraft Center to ensure they're fully veteran out the gates. That's gonna make those Stormtroopers really potent once they get into good positions. Often points are falling to the Soviet Union, however. Southern point is falling into the hands of the Germans. T-3045 is gonna be arriving on the battlefield shortly. KV2 is taking that driver out. Lots of Soviets up here holding behind the sandbags.
Supply sector under attack.
Tiger is making the move. Being cautious. Be cautious because there are still Syscons around. At least one Syscon. This didn't penetrate. And the Tiger is moving up, loading a high explosive shell. Oh, good shot! Good shot for that Tiger team. Meanwhile, the Source are doing a push up here with the Capitan and the Major. KV2 behind them, Fonsoviki and Veteran Conscripts moving up. Actually, this is a lot of veterans for the Soviets. Veteran C5, Fonsoviki, Veteran C5 Conscripts. But immediately there's a propaganda artillery going that way. KV2 circling around, is probably going to go for the base. Tiger Ace is moving up though. MT42 on the flank here. Preventing the Soviets from using that SIS. Oh, a good shot from the KV2 there, hitting straight for the German base. I think a Tiger Ace cannot delay. Those who are staying behind Tiger Ace here. Full Sturmgewehrs is going to make them exceptionally good at most combat stuff. Best at medium range, however. So it's going to try and rush the Tiger Ace. They do have AT grenades. But the German's going to prevent it. Oh, heavy mortar shell hits near the Stormtroopers, forcing them back. D-30-45 on the field. They can actually just rush this ND-42 if they want. Explosive loaded misses. Another Stuk-G gonna be arriving for the Germans. Now, the Tiger Ace's problem is it cannot be everywhere at the same time. Yeah, it looks like the T-34 is just starting over the cover here of the MG-42. And it's gonna kill them with the Maxim inside. Not Maxim, DPM. Ooh, Tiger is about to get a good sight here on the KV. Doesn't penetrate. It can happen. KV2's loading. Doesn't penetrate again. KV2 still reloading. Oh, good shot there from an 85. And KV2 kills the Tiger Ace. That is really lucky from the Soviet Union. And good flank with that 85. Overall, good play still from both these players. They're doing a lot of work. 2G driving up here, but it's going to have a hard time dealing with an 85. Unless it can penetrate. Lost sight of it, that's not good. 85 doesn't penetrate. Lucky. ND-42 still holding down here, but it's going to allow the Fonsoviki to get up. And mow them down in seconds thanks to the DPM. Very good play from both players here. I'm still honestly surprised. Good DPM grabbed by the Storm Pioneers, but they have to pull back. That was getting closer here, but they have no AT weapons. Explosive load by the Stuk kills, destroys their cover. Must prevent the Germans from scavenging the Tiger wreck though. KV2 still on the flank here. 85 gets a good shot in, but doesn't penetrate. Folkston are pushing the KV2. Stuk down. One flasher going out. Oh! In by the KV2 shot. Doesn't surprise me. They are militia and they do get pinned pretty fast. Basically, it's something to do with their veterancy type or skill type. If they're militia, they're gonna get suppressed really fast because they are really scared. Like big effects on the battlefield shocks them. Panzerfaust going out from one. Stuns. That's gonna allow the Folksturm to hit it. And that's a KV2 down by the Folksturm. We use a Panzerfaust. We have just tons of Folksturm called in to replace the losses and shore up the front line. Germans are definitely standing in somewhat of their last legs because of it. Shock 2 still don't have any dedicated weapons yet. But as soon as they're securing all the terrain they can, it's still a good squad. They're armed with SVTs. They use semi-automatic rifles instead. And of course the squad leader has PPSH. Storm Pioneers is doing their best here. They're gonna shot it from several angles. Oh, Panzerfaust on the T-30-45 kills it. The Folksturm sacrifices is still working out. Black is also opening fire on all the infantry. Which it will actually do good at dealing with if it can hit. Now, if the Germans can last long enough, they would be able to get another Tiger Ace. Prussian are quickly gonna try and set up. Artillery being called in by the lieutenant. 82mm mortar shells gonna be coming in. Stormtroopers pushing up with their Sturmgewehrs. They're gonna rip through the Soviets. One conscript down there, but the shock troopers are getting good shots in. Yeah, quickly have to switch target here. It looks like they managed to force these shock troopers off. Good shot from that DPM.
Enemy forces are capturing our supplies.
Let's see, the Major is also leading from the front line. Very aggressive Major, probably why how he earned his eye patch and scars. Or probably just very popular guy because of it. Actually fighting on the front line alongside his men. Foxton rushing up here. Throwing a steel hand grenade. That's going to force the Soviets off for a bit. Thanks also to the MD-42. And more shock troopers now arriving. Another 85. Shock troopers, if they could get enough munitions to arm them with the PBSHs, that's going to be 80 munitions though for each squad. Can make them exceptionally lethal because they'll actually suppress with those PBSHs. If they want them good at long range, you can also just give them a DPM, because that's going to allow them to be very good while they're stationary. So it's getting a lot more elite infantry in the field now. Germans are able to show up the front line somewhat with all the Foxsturm. 85 driving up. Good shot from the pack, over penetration. The shell just went straight through basically, doing a lot of critical damage. Shock troopers on the flank here, that's going to be that MD-42 I think. Quickly mowing it down. They're actually using a marching fire or fire superiority. Allows them to suppress, and that actually allows them to suppress those stormtroopers. They can actually take the advantage and start pushing up on them slowly, but there might be infantry behind, obviously, and the flag. Not an infantry push in the center, Fontaviki and conscripts. Stormtroopers forced off. More Germans rushing to the front line, and another Tiger Ace has been called in. But this is a lot of Soviet infantry. DPM quickly trying to rip into them. Shock troopers might have to pull back. Propaganda artillery, good to see. We actually see 4 shock troopers back here. We actually see 5 shock troopers. They don't even flinch from the propaganda artillery. There we go. But they only flinch briefly. They can pick up that DPM though. Might want to do it quick. There we go. Tiger Ace is pushing up though. So the Sappers have an LMG-42. Explosive loaded. Oh, they're still moving slow due to propaganda though. Looks like it misses. Dr. Bus don't give a shit here. They're still fighting hard. And more Germans are moving to the front line. Ooh, overshot there from the 88. 88 is not really that best, good to deal with infantry though. Dr. was pulling back. Yeah, the Soviets are just lacking munitions right now. Might need to set up some munitions caches if they can afford it. But the Germans are running out of units. Soviet attrition is paying off. Second 85 coming onto the fields. That munitions they could probably invest in the repair team. Major's holding back here behind the sandbags. Overseeing the front line still. But the 88 is taking hot shots in his direction. Heavy mortar still trying to do its best. Storms. Oh, good shot from this heavy mortar. Oh, high explosive incendiary overshot there. Actually, it's not a high explosive incendiary, it's an incendiary shrapnel. I keep forgetting that. A lot of ground types sometimes. That's a lot of Sabbaths. That's a lot of engineer troops from the Soviet Union on the front line. There's definitely been a lot of fighting here over this little farm. A farm somewhere in eastern Germany. can probably call this one Eastern German Farmland, something. Or Prussian Farmland. Prussia would actually be a good one, I think. But the Soviets keep pushing up here. Shock trooper. Oh, we have the third SS. No, that's not the third SS French. My bad. It just looks a little bit similar, but it's just the Stormtroopers. Stormtroopers and the Stormtroopers is actually the only SS troops now available. This is just Volkssturm. And of course the Tiger Race. That might be that shock trooper. Yeah, burned up. Ooh, good 85 shot. Penetrates the front. Don't underestimate the 85. The 85mm on the T-34s are actually pretty good at penetration. It's just a little T-34, so it doesn't have that much health. But it's a very effective gun on a T-34. This squad could actually get double DPM if he wants. It could make them a very good support assault team. We'll probably have to push them up alone though. So the Tiger Ace has gone immobile for extra firing rate. So the Stormhunter is going to try and repair it. Risky maneuver. T-34s could move around to encircle and flank it. Volkssturm being pinned out in the open here from all the DPM fire. So the howitzer is also ring fire. And it's going to prompt the Tigers to move. I really think that the Soviets should invest in some munitions caches, I think. Oh! Almost killed the entire Storm Pioneer squad there. That house is doing a lot of work, but it's not getting any kills either by the looks of it. But so it's probably bugged at the KV2. It might be this 152mm thing that's bugged. All the guns that use that millimeter or that gun statistic, I imagine, because I think they're all technically the same gun. Just different barrel sizes and everything.
The enemy has taken our supply sector.
Stormtroopers on the southern flank. Veterancy 5 Stormtroopers, by the way. This squad will murder anyone in medium range. Like, in medium range firefight, I think these Stormtroopers will literally beat anything. Like, any infantry squad will just get mowed down. These shock troopers do need to be careful. And all these officers as well. That's a Veterancy 5 Lieutenant. Good job from Lobo, keeping their officers near the front line, but still alive to get veterancy. You just need to keep your officers near the front line. They don't actually have to do the fighting themselves. Stormtroopers down, open fire if they get behind cover. And immediately get into work here. You can see. Of course, the Veterancy 5 is definitely protecting them, and also being in range. Now the shock troopers are moving up. Yeah, Stormtroopers are not going to be able to fight this. There's just too much fire coming their way. And I get mowed down in seconds. Tiger Ace is on the move. Artillery keeps landing around. But the Waffen-SS is definitely having a harder time here. And Blackmaster hold on is the question. The shock troopers do lack anti-tank probabilities. They don't have any AT weapons, apart from a satchel charge, which I would not call the best of anti-tank weapon, but it is an improvised one that could work if you're lucky. It does do a lot of damage if you can actually get it on the tank. The thing is just getting it on the tank, which is not easy. It's not easy at all. Repairs going in the 85s. Germans still hold a fair amount of points. Germans could also threaten an orphan field point if they want to go for it. Oh, outposted up with a Maximin sight. Okay. So it's going to fortify that way. Fortified outpost do gives you more manpower. I believe 10 more manpower. No, actually 12 more manpower. That's a huge deal, by the way. And it's also, you can also garrison it with machine guns as an example. So really good for fortifying a position. Probably why it's called a fortified position. Go figure. Veterancy 4 Volkssturm securing an orphan point. Do note, Volkssturm do not benefit from the Kampfkraft Center because they're militia. Militia are not counted towards getting benefits from that. The Tigers could move up here with his 285s. Of course, if the 88 just gets shots on the 85s, it will kill them. That's a lot of Soviet infantry and officers. Also, the Tigers decides it doesn't want to stay there. That's the Storm Pioneer. Hanscos are trying to intercept with his anti-tank grenade. Tigers realizes, and it's Doesn't really support. Oh, go on, penetration 185 there. 185 down though. AT grenade going out, doesn't penetrate.
We have lost one of our armored vehicles.
And looks like the Tiger Ace might blitz away safely. Yeah, it looks like it manages to get away. The 85 cannot get it in time, I think. Loading high explosive for the pack up here. Kills it. Very nice. Probably see it thanks to this recon team. Have a look. Yeah, definitely see it thanks to that recon team. Oh, why is the... Oh, it's just the ground that's that destroyed. I thought it was still fog of war on. I'm going to show you how much this place has been destroyed. Germans do have automatic repairs thanks to the Fahrzeughalle here.
Stand by, crew.
Fahrzeughalle, not Fahrzeug. Maximus at the fortified position will keep the Volksturm at bay. Pretty handily at that. I believe they even get more accuracy. Oh, just... Yeah, no, they actually get weapons range. Okay, that's pretty handy. And they also get they also take less damage one-sided, so that's handy. Another KV2 as well. That's 3 KV2s today. That's another KV2. Good shot, but didn't kill them thanks to the sandbags. Looks like the Tiger tank is ready to fight again. This is Aufklar called onto the battlefield. KV2 has to be very cautious still.
You may now unleash our soldiers' patriotic zeal to increase combat.
The more conscripts call onto the battlefield now. Probably to grab weapons off the ground, I imagine. Because there's a lot of weapons around here the service could use, like that mortar. Actually, not a lot. Oh, there's also an MT-42 down there.
Prepare to execute.
Tiger Ace is still around. Going to get to a good angle. Can the Soviets see it thanks to the Aufklar? Yeah, they know it's there. Which means if they had the munitions, they could actually fire the howitzer. They're gonna be spotted. The SS Aufklar spots them. Prompt them to get away. 85 down here with an officer on the top now. Oh, engine burning thanks to the assist shot. Didn't do a lot of damage, but it did hit the engine block. Somehow. From the front. There's could have been an angle where it just flopped over and hit into the engine block briefly. But quickly being repaired here with only light engine damage. Soviets still have some of the officers. They did lose the Capitan a while ago. Soviets have built up a lot of force they could utilize. They just need to push through somewhere. Mortars is still opening fire now. Light mortar got handled. MT-42 also got grabbed, I think. Where is it? That's the Maxim. That's the MT-42. Good users of the conscripts. Just cheap units to grab items off the ground. In a Company of Heroes 3, you actually have an ability from half-tracks and supply trucks where you can just take a weapons team where some dudes will jump out to grab it. You don't have to waste troops from a squad on it, as an example. Pretty handy. Big Soviet retreater from the Sappers and the Major. Realize they don't want to fight there, apparently. Tiger is slowly pushing up with a Hauptsturmführer nearby. A higher ranking officer of the Waffen-SS. P-45 here waiting with his DPMs in ambush. Mine trying to be here by the Volksturm. So it's going to be S-Minen, but they're on the DPM fire. But the T-44 decides to pull back. Probably realizing it could be a target for the Tiger Ace. Hauptsturmführer calling in some artillery strikes here, apparently, while looking casual. Very casual here. I personally think... Oh, shit, that was a shot on the howitzer. Looks like it's just gonna be a cream barrage. Oh, that's cheeky, so it's going to go this way. Very cheeky. I don't think Blackmaster knows it's a cream barrage. Cream barrage does seem to fire very fast. It looks like it's not really spreading further. Just hitting in this area. KB2 push on the northern flank now. Mthis trying to push up. KB2 taking an aim. Oh, it's going for the machine gun. Killing them. There we go, one good shot there. Maxim still nearby to supplements. Got to reload it. Putting in some more ammunition. There we go. It's ready. All these heavy shells. Holy shit. Stucci has arrived here. Actually hitting into the base now. Not looking good for the Germans. I really think the repair team should also repair the base buildings. That's just my opinion. Because I think it also for the other factions, when you get the maintenance team, basically, this one prevents the maintenance. The Waffen-SS actually cannot get that. So I really think the teams from this building should at least get that, so they can repair the base if you're, like, stuck in here. In case you get, like, artillery down. Let's see, the Major is under fire here. Looks like he's brave enough to not get pinned immediately. He might be get pinned now, though. Because I believe Majors are not the best combat infantry, after all. They're meant to be, like, officers, just behind the front line. Well, not behind the front, but just behind the fighting. They're not meant to be directly on the front line, but I guess this one is very zealous, after all. We have seen this portrait out with all the scars and the eye patch, so... He might just be a very, very zealous guy. Tiger is pushing up with the Stuk. Just gonna take some shots in. Tiger is eating away. Yeah, gonna wanna go for that Sis gun. Driving up here, might go for yeah, it's going for incendiary shrapnel. 85 got a shot in though. Gonna force the Tiger Ace off, it got stunned. Oh, and the Germans are losing troops on the southern flank. Like, good job for Lark to still hold on despite this, because this is a very hard position to be in with all the Soviets pushing like this. That might be the 85. Yeah, one shot from the 88 kills it. Taking 85 nearby. This one's that veteran though. It just stays on the northern flank for now. And the Major's still around. He could probably be armed with the PPSHs if he's gonna fight this much in the front line. Ah, we're finding munitions caches, so Lobo is preparing for continuous bombardment now. We're trying to flank, but I think the pillbox might be... No, it's not gonna be able to cover him fully. Oh, the pillbox can hit from here. Never mind. Yeah, so this officer's definitely in trouble. Yeah, he has to retreat, and he might get mowed down here in the retreat. Oh, yeah. That's an MG42 getting some good shots in. Yeah, and then the mine actually kills him. That's a big loss. AB2 relocate to the southern flank. To keep an eye on the front line here with its camouflage position. Tiger Ace is almost ready again. Guma is pushing up alongside some Foxstone, trying to grab the pack again. Hausturm Fury also calling in some artillery. Oh, and that's a dead pack entirely. Cannot be recovered, it's completely scrapped. Artillery calling here by the Hausturm Fury. Could be a lot bigger caliber. Yeah, 120mm. Doesn't hit that much. It does hit the Soviet mortar a little, but doesn't do a lot of damage, strangely. Probably because they're pinned and thus they jump to the ground. It takes some reduced damage from explosions. 85 still threatening up there. Tiger Ace is probably going to try to hunt down the KB2 if he can get to it. But the scissors are pointed the right way. Getting some shots in. Hit Maxim. This is getting shots into the flank. Hausturm Fury getting hit by the KB2. 4 heavy shells landing. Tiger Tank has to pull back. Another Stuk arriving. Looks like the Stuk up here also got killed probably by an 85. Probably this 85. Yep, vehicle there. Vehicles destroyed 1. Oh, KV2 going for the Tiger Ace. That's not a fight it generally wants frontally. Tiger Ace reloads too fast and has a too high penetration chance with that 88. However, if the KV2 does somehow penetrate with its 152mm gun, I think it will destroy the Tiger. Looks like it's going to be attack rounding around here. Pulling it back. Smart. I'm gonna risk it. Ooh, and the Fox still getting shot to pieces here. That's a lot of Soviets. And then a KV2 shot to finish them off. Good gonna try and take a shot in. Doesn't penetrate. That's gonna make that. Oh, Stuck got over penetrated by a assist gun. Ooh, the KV2 might kill it. Backs off. Ooh, both sisters change target to the Tiger Ace. Sisters are just gonna keep hitting it. They're penetrating. The Tiger Ace's front armor is not as impressive as some people think at this point in the war. Still has a good gun, but that's really about it. Because against a lot of concentrated AT fire, the Tiger tank will still get destroyed. Tiger tank opening fire in this Hauptsturmführer, who's not even retreating. There we go, he's just one guy left there in the smoke. He's actually able to reinforce from there. You'll probably just retreat him. You cannot even call artillery if you're pinned. Lobo is still building up to push on. Looks like these stormtroopers are actually, shock troopers are actually now heroes of the Soviet Union. Provides an aura to all other Soviets around them. And it actually, I believe it stacks. It does actually stack by the looks of it. Still, it's a pretty handy aura to have. Also a lot of Soviets around him, which is pretty good, by the way. Because it inspires all the other Soviet troops. And of course it buffs themselves. Only certain elite squads, I believe, can get this, and they need to be a veteran. Basically, I think it means they have a lot of medals and such, and they're probably very renowned on the front line at the moment. So we have a Panzerwerfer arriving in now to try and supplement. Not sure it'll do enough, but it's something. Second howitzer being established here by the Soviets. Tiger Ace is veterancy free, which will certainly help. KV2 has to be cautious. That 88mm will chew through it if it can penetrate. Although penetration at the longest range is not likely with its 900 armor, it's still very much a possibility simply because of the Tiger. Panzerwerfer opening fire in this area. Oh god, this is good damage on the infantry. That's gonna force them off. So the Tiger is slowly creeping up. Russian MG4U2 though is ready. The ones they've stolen. KV2 is in range of the Tiger Ace. Tiger switches target to the KV2. One good penetration right there. Meanwhile, artillery is landing near the German base. Oh, engine burning from trying to hit the pedal. But might have been a shot from the sisters, I'm not sure. Incendiary did do some damage there. All the artillery shells are landing. And heavy mortars as well. Germans are not having any time pushing up.
We've lost a squad of infantry.
Luke has to be very cautious of his movements as well, and all the sappers are repairing this KV2 quickly. None of them are actually repair teams, which surprises me. The repair team ability is actually really potent. RC shells still landing in the German base. Can Blackmaster survive, though? Like, it's all going to be banking on that Tiger Ace, I think. And his Panzerwerfer is still not ready to fire yet. Good thing also, he's keeping it away from the base where all the shells are landing. You don't want to keep the Panzerwerfer away from Earth where you think they'll fire. Oh, Kampfkraftständer got taken out. Tiger Ace is ready again. We'll have to see how this goes for them. And the Tiger Ace is ready to be on the move. Also, they decide to push somewhere else. Hope to watch this 85 here. The 85 does have a higher chance to penetrate than the 76 Mthis guns. German push. Also, the 85 is waiting for the Tiger Ace to reveal itself. Very smart. Now the 85 is going to move off for a cheeky shot. High explosive incendiary shrapnel fired. Oh, straight on the outpost. 85 misses. It's not accurate on the move. It's going to try and ram. Oh, that was close. Who tries to hold the southern flank, but the Scissors are taking shots. Taking it out. Just pushing up aggressively now that they have the chance. Incendiary shot killed the Maxim inside the fortified post. Those have to relocate troops immediately. As the Tiger Ace is pushing through. Scissors are taking shots now. KB2 is gonna try and move up. KB2 takes a shot there, killing some of the infantry under cover. Tiger Ace needs to switch target on that KV, I think. Panzerwerfer can fire. Flying around here. Very close range. Oh, get some very good shots out. But Tiger Ace did take a shot there, losing his loader. That's gonna make it. Oh, and its turret got jammed. I might allow the KV2 to push up. Oh, Panzerwerfer down. So it's grabbing all the Scissors again with the conscripts. Good to see. Turret got unjammed. Default 2 opening fire here. Balls are going out though. But the German base is slowly being ripped apart by the KV2. Oh, the Scissors are just opening fire on the Tiger Ace here. And there it goes. I think Blackmaster has fought bravely here. Lobo really proved the power of the Soviet shock, and both players fought valiantly, I think. There would be no shame in, I believe, in Blackmaster surrendering at this point. There's no way of making a comeback against Soviet shock now. But you never know, battles can shift, but just with this amount of troops. Another Tiger Ace! And that's why I personally also think the cooldown for the Tiger Ace should only begin once your current Tiger Ace is dead. Because else you have situations like this where you can just call in a second one immediately after losing it. Which I think is not really how it should be. Tiger Aces are very important and very, rare. Well, not rare. The Tiger was kind of an ace maker, but you probably get what I mean. Tiger is flanking the KV2 here. One penetration. KV2 got a good shot, did a lot of damage. But KV2 down. But at this point, Blackmaster surrenders. I hope you all enjoyed this long match, and I'll see you on the next one, everyone. Bye bye!